All right, welcome to the Down and Dirty at 1:30. This is your host, Vishan Borage from Team Tough. I'm so glad you're here today on this marvelous Monday. We're just getting started. So if you're just jumping on, go ahead and log in. You'll see there's a chat window down below. Log in, say hello, let me know you can hear me okay. Let me know that you're there so that I can shout out to you. I'm going to be checking the chat window here in a minute, and I will give some shout outs to those of you that are logged in. All right, so today I've put together a presentation, more of a tutorial training for you on video specifically, and I've got a bunch of notes here. I'm going to be talking about how to use your if I can talk, I'm going to be talking about how to use your smartphone so that you can start making great videos with just your smartphone. Because I know that most people don't have fancy video equipment. If you do, then you probably don't need to be watching this hangout today, because you probably know even more than I do if you've got some fancy equipment, unless you just bought it and you're just learning it. But for those of you that are relatively new to video, or maybe you've shot some but you want to get better at it, and you just have a smartphone like an iPhone or an Android device, then this is for you. This is why I recorded today's, or this is why I'm hosting. This is live. This is why I'm hosting today's Down and Dirty at 1:30. So if you're with me, let's go ahead and get started. So here's what's going on. I put together a list of eight things that I'm going to be covering today that are super important to shooting great video. And I've learned these from some videographers, some professional videographers that I've had the opportunity to either work for me and shoot me in a professional setting, or they've been folks that I've attended conferences and they've shared some tips with me on how I could improve my own videos. So I'm going to share what I learned with you. And this is one tip that's not on my list, and that is if you ever get stuck and you don't know what kind of video to shoot or a topic to shoot, look through your notes, because when you learn something new, I bet you anything there's somebody else out there who would like to learn what you've learned. So pick something from your notes, pick something that you've learned, and share that topic in a video with your audience. And they're going to love you for it, especially if it's related to your business or if it's related to you in some way. They're going to really appreciate that, because you're helping to inspire them and give them information that could make them a better person as well. So that's one huge tip that I've learned from my own mentors in the industry. All right, so one of the first things that everybody asks is, okay, what do I use? What do I use to shoot my own video? So I'm going to start off with equipment. What equipment do I actually use? I'm going to mark that off on my checklist here. So the main piece of equipment that I use is my smartphone. And I do have one of the newer phones. Mine's the iPhone S or whatever it is, Plus. So it's kind of big. A lot of people don't like them because they're this big. But since I like to have a bigger screen to see my videos, I felt the Plus was a good fit for me. So I've had it now for a few months, and I really like it. Before this, I was using, I don't know, a couple-year-old iPhone. And I do like iPhone. I know some people are, you're either a Droid fan or you're an Apple fan, one or the other. I think both are equally good. But personally, I like the iPhone. I have a lot of apps that I use on a regular basis, and I've got to the point where I just can't bear to switch to a Droid simply because of all the apps that I use that aren't available on the Droid yet. Okay, so with that said, all you need is a phone with a video camera. It doesn't even have to be the latest model. As long as it has a video camera, you can start shooting video. So don't make excuses. Just do it. Get out there and do it. Now, for those of you that have a little more budget than one for just a phone, the other tool that I use on a regular basis is my little GoPro. And I have a GoPro Hero 4, which is kind of nice because it has a little screen on the back. You can see they're really tiny. I've got mine in the case right now. Let me take it out of. It comes with some waterproof cases and things like that. I usually have it in this one just because I don't want to get dust and dirt and everything else. But look how tiny they are. Super tiny little camera. These, at least I believe when I got this new, it was about $400, between $400 and $500 US dollars. So it's a little pricier, but I tell you what, this thing is so great. It's rugged, especially with the case on it. I believe you can go up to 150 feet deep with the waterproof case. For those of you that are divers, that's a really great thing. And it's also cool because you can shoot underwater photos. With the case, it allows you to go places that you maybe wouldn't want to take your iPhone or your Android phone, because those I don't have a waterproof case for my phone, so there's no way that I'm going to shoot video with that if it's raining or if I'm near water. But with this, I can. And I will tell you the downside of this. I mean, the good side is you can shoot super high quality video, and the other cool thing with it, it gives you really wide angle lens, so that you can shoot a really broad spectrum of things that you're looking at. You can shoot both video and photos. The downside, though, that I was going to tell you, actually there's two downsides that I found. Number one, it eats battery power like crazy. So if you do get one of these, because at least the Hero 4, it's got a touch screen on the back. So if you get one of these with the touch screen, I think the whole act of it having the touch screen eats battery. So I ended up buying on Amazon some extra batteries. I bought like 4 of them because it comes with I'll show you here. Batteries they're what are they? The lithium, if I can say it. These little guys. So I mean, you can't just put regular batteries in. You've got to have like the special GoPro batteries. But these things, they only last, at least for me, a maximum of 4 hours. So I do recommend that. That's one downside. The other downside to it is the mic. So for sound quality, it has a little mic here, but at least my version, and maybe there's an upgraded version, it does not have an audio port, so that you can stick like a mic into it, so that you could have better sound quality. But other than that, super rugged, super handy, tiny little device, and it shoots very high quality video as well as photos. So good stuff there. All right, so what other equipment did I use? Another thing that personally that I bought, and you can get these for about $20, maybe a little more depending on what brand you get. I got these extra lenses. These lenses it's just a little clip-on lens that you can put onto your phone. So you just line it up on your phone and you put it on there. And I've got 2 different versions of these little lenses. One is a super wide angle lens, and the other is a macro lens. So a macro or micro lens would allow you to shoot something up really close. The micro lens, I don't use it as much. I probably didn't need to get that one, unless you're really into shooting like bugs and flowers and things that are really tiny. You probably don't need that. But if you're going to be shooting a lot of video outdoors and you want to capture the whole environment, then the wide angle lens is great. It really makes it makes my iPhone look like my GoPro camera because of the wide angle of the lens. So this is a nice little tool. I got these on Amazon. They're just little clip-on lenses. Let me see the brand. I don't even think it has a brand on here. Anyhow, just look up lenses for smartphones. Oh, okay, this one is VictSing. So it's VictSing, VictSing. And I got 2 lenses, a macro and a micro. Oh, I guess it's 3 in 1 because you can flip them over. And then the wide angle lens, I think it was like $20 for the whole kit. And it came in a little case like this. So just something to look at. There's a lot of different companies out there that create something like that. But it just gives you more more options when you're out there shooting video, so that you can add some professional looks to what you're doing. Okay, I'm going to check and see who's all in the Hangout right now and see if anybody's there. Oh, I see Richard. Good to see you, man. Glad you're out there on the Down and Dirty. This looks like there's 2 others that might be online. So if you are there and you're watching live, be sure to log in and say hello so that I know that you're there. Cool. All right, so we're going to keep going here, pulling this back up. So we talked about equipment. The next thing that's super important is sound quality. And I don't know if you've ever listened to a video where they've got the wind blowing through their mic. You can barely make out the person's voice when they're speaking, and it's kind of frustrating, right? You don't like it when you can't hear them talking. So why would you shoot a video where they can't hear you speaking? So I'm going to give you some really cool tips, and they don't require a lot of money. In fact, one tip doesn't require any extra money other than what came with your smartphone. And this is a great way for you to improve the sound quality of your videos. All right. So with your smartphone, everybody got some kind of, earbuds, right? You all got these earbuds. The earbuds have a mic on them, right? So here's what you do if you're going to be shooting a video is, you drop this down your shirt and get like a paper clip. You don't have to put this in your ear, but just get like a paper clip or something, or a Gorilla Clip. So I can do it here and clip it there, especially if you had like a white one, that would be really good. So you could clip that there to your shirt. And then obviously you want to plug in the other end into your phone. And that's going to fall down my shirt right now, but that's okay. You get the idea. So you would clip that to your shirt, and then when you're shooting your video, turn it and face it so you see what's going on. You're going to get better sound quality because your mic is closer to your mouth. You might even want to clip it up, higher on your shirt, or if you're wearing a jacket or coat, clip it up on your collar so it's closer to your mouth, and you're going to get much better sound quality. And that'll help you a lot, especially if you're in a windy environment or something like that. Okay, that was Dixie the dog walking back there. She's my office mate. All right, so that's one tip. If you have a little extra money, you could always buy an external mic. For Christmas, one of my family members got me a Rode microphone. It came in a little case like this, Rode microphone, and this is what it looks like. It's very high-end microphone. It's not wireless, obviously. You still have to plug it in, but you plug that into your phone, and then this end you clip on to your shirt or whatever clothing you're wearing. Try to drop the rest of the wire down your clothing so it doesn't show. And you can also take this off. The little foam piece that's on here is to help with wind, to keep the wind noise out of the mic. If you're indoors, you can take that off and then just have the regular mic, which gives it a nice crisp sound. So you can experiment with that. I don't know how much this costs because, again, it was a gift to me, but there are a ton of different mics out there. I know Rode is a good one. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. It might be Rode. I'm not a pro at this, but I've learned a lot from professionals. The other type that I know that some of my professional videographers have told me about is one called lavalier. So if you're looking for a really good mic to plug into your iPhone or whatever device you've got, then lavalier is another good one. One downside on this is I wish it had a longer cord. This is maybe a 5-foot cord. Might be, I don't even think it's 6. No, it's about 5 foot, and it's just not long enough for what I want to do. So a lot of times, here's another tip for you. What I'll do is I will plug this into my phone. Okay, drop this down my shirt, clip it onto my shirt, put this in my pocket, okay, and record the sound only. Now, meanwhile, while I'm recording the sound, I'll have my GoPro camera set up, the video portion set up on a tripod across from me, and I will be speaking my video. So then when I'm all done, I can download the sound file from my iPhone. So download that onto my computer. So now I have a sound file of what I just said, and it came in nice and clear. And then I download my video from my GoPro onto my computer, and then I basically take the sound file and overlay it onto the video. Okay, and you have to kind of listen. You want to listen to it and make sure there's not an echo. When you get to the point where there's no echo in the original sound, because it will pick up a little bit of sound on the GoPro. When there's no echo, then you know you've got the sound right, and then you can turn the sound off on the main portion of the video, and then just use the one that you recorded from your iPhone. Does that make sense? I hope so, because the whole idea there is to be able to have really crisp and clear sound quality. And once you've mastered that, you've got a pretty good video. Now, there's some other things I'm going to share with you that'll help you, but that's a big one to get good sound. Okay? All right. So if you've got questions, be sure to comment down below. I want to make sure that you can hear me and everything's going good. And Rich, if I could get a thumbs up that I'm not cutting out or anything in the video or the hangout today, that'd be awesome. before I continue on. I'm going to double check just some things here. I appreciate you guys being here live, and for those of you watching the recording, thanks for jumping out there. I know for some of you, coming on these in the middle of the afternoon is challenging, but for me, this is my full-time job. This is what I do. I love helping others to have an online business and to be better at it. And during the day is the best time for me because my kids, my two sons, are out at school today. Not too much longer. School's almost out. But it makes for a very quiet work environment when they're not here, right? So for those of you that are parents, you know what I'm talking about. All right, it looks like everything is sounding pretty good. Oh yeah, Rich says I'm good. Thanks, Rich. Appreciate that. Okay, cool. So I'm going to keep going. So we talked about sound. We talked about equipment. The next thing I want to talk about is lighting. If you don't have good lighting, then you're really going to be in a pickle, because I don't know about you, but I've seen some videos that people record and it's so dark. It looks like that it's like a scary movie or something. And I'm probably not going to do business with that person if there's shadows all over them and you can't see their eyes, or they're wearing sunglasses, or they're in a dark room and it's really dingy. It doesn't look good. So make sure you've got enough lighting. The easiest way and the least expensive way to get good lighting is to go outside. Okay, so go outside, take your phone, take your video camera, take that outside, and you're going to get natural sunlight. The best days to shoot video are actually on a cloudy day. Why? Because you don't have that harsh light and you're not over here going, because you can't see because the light is in your eyes. Because when you shoot video, you do want the sun to be in your face so it lights up your face. But if it's a bright day with no clouds, it's like impossible for you not to squint. But if it's a nice cloudy day, you're going to get that indirect light, and it really cuts down all the shadows and the harsh lines, and it makes you look really good on video. All right, so try that out. If you don't have that option, or maybe it's a rainy day or whatever, at least get near a window. Okay, get near a window so that it lights up your face. You want to be facing the window. Like here's a window in my office. I'm in a lower level walkout basement, so you can see there's a window here. So in an ideal situation, if I didn't have a light, which I do, I have a light on my desk here, then I would turn and face the window and have the light facing me. All right, so hopefully that helps you a bit. And the other thing is have your camera up high enough so that it looks like your eye level. You don't want to have your camera shooting up like this, because it kind of reminds you of, I don't know if you ever did this when you were a kid, where you take a flashlight and you shine it up on your face in the dark. Well, when the camera is like down here, it's kind of like they're looking up into your nose, and you don't want them looking up into your nose. So think about your camera or your phone is like a person. So you have to imagine, like if I'm looking at this right here, I'm going to look at the eye right there, because that's the camera. So I'm going to hold it up, and I don't want to block my line of sight with you right now, but I'm going to hold it up and I'm going to look at that when I shoot a video. I'm going to imagine that I have a one-eyed friend here, and I'm going to focus my attention right there, because by doing that, it's going to draw the user in, and they're going to look into your eyes, and they're going to feel connected to you and like they're speaking with you. Okay. All right. So lighting. The other thing is, if you don't have a window, and hopefully you have a window, but let's say it's super dark, maybe it's nighttime, then if you're going to be shooting indoors, try to get good lighting. Like here in my office, I have just a desk light, and honestly, all it is just a light, like with a shade, and I've taken the shade off of the light, and I don't even think I can show it to you. I'll pull it here. It's going to make me dark for a second, but that's all it is. It's just a light bulb on a stand. Okay, so that's all I've got. I haven't yet purchased a box light, which is on my bucket list of something I want to purchase. And a box light, you can look out on Amazon or any shopping site for a photographer's box light. And all it is, it's like a light that comes with this like nylon fabric around it, and then one side of it is kind of a translucent white. And so it gives a really nice indirect lighting to your face, especially if you're doing indoor video. So it's something that, if you want to purchase that, you absolutely go for it. For me, it's kind of down the list on my bucket list because I can get away with, this desk light for now. But I just wanted to give you those ideas when you're shooting video. And also in regards to lighting, make sure that if you're indoors, that you've got a nice background. Like, I mean, this is my office, so obviously you can see some of the things in my office, but you want to make it look nice. You don't want to have a bunch of junk in the background, or just to me, I think it's really boring when it's just a white wall. I like to see a little bit of the personality of the person I'm speaking with. So experiment, set up a set. Imagine that, if you're working out of your home office or wherever you're working, that's like a movie set, and you want the background to represent you and who you are, so that when people see that, they get a feel for who they're speaking to, and it just adds a little more color and character to the person. It gives you a realistic view of who they are. Now, maybe realistically, you are kind of a slob and you've got stuff everywhere, and if that's the people you're speaking to, then maybe you should leave it a mess. But for me, I tend to try to attract people that are a little more upscale. So I want things to look, at least organized. All right. Hopefully that helps you. So we're talking about lighting. So the next thing that I have on my list, and this is item 4 if you're keeping track, is stabilize. I wrote down the word stabilize. When you're shooting video, if you can stabilize your camera in some way, or stabilize your phone so that you're not like shaking it when you're shooting the video, because sometimes we aren't steady, and then if you don't stabilize it, what happens? You get this video that's all shaky, and like you get kind of sick looking at it because you can't focus on the video because it's all over the place. So what I tell my students to do is to get a tripod if you can. A tripod, you've probably seen it, it's just got 3 legs and a little area where you put your phone. And you can get a little piece like this. I don't know if you can see that. This slides up, and you can put your phone right in there, so that, and I'll just put it in there now. So you can put your phone right in there so that you can hold that. Now, this is actually a selfie stick, and that's another thing that you can get to shoot good video, is a selfie stick. And I know you've seen people with it, and some people like to kind of make fun of the selfie stick. But if you are an internet marketer, or you're doing marketing for somebody else, you want to be able to stabilize that video so that it looks a little more professional. I love the selfie stick for a couple of reasons. Number one, I can stabilize it a little better by holding it with one hand. It gives me another hand to move to move around, because I talk with my hands a lot, so I need a hand to move around. Otherwise, I don't think I can really speak. So, that's one thing I love about it. The other thing I like about this selfie stick is that on the bottom, it has a little screw point so that I can put it on my tripod. I have a tripod that has a little screw on it. So the benefit of that is my tripod isn't often tall enough so that I'm eye level with my camera. But with the selfie stick on top of it, plus it extends, it telescopes out, I can make this, up higher or at eye level or wherever I need it in order to shoot better video. Okay, so these are just some things to stabilize. I will tell you, before I had a selfie stick or a tripod, I used to just stack up books. I know it sounds so cheesy, but you improvise, you do what you got to do in order to make good video. So I would stack up books, or whatever else I could find, pillows, in order to balance my camera and shoot the video at the right level. So you do what you got to do, and you make things happen, right? I've even put it in a tree one time. I was outside. I'll never forget this. It was like some of my first videos, and I did not have a tripod, I didn't have a selfie stick. And I remember wanting to shoot this video outside. So I found a tree that had a branch at just the right level, and I somehow positioned it just perfectly in the tree so it would stay. And then I, pressed play, got in my position, and shot the video. So, you do what you got to do, and it will make much better video if this camera is still when you're shooting that video. Now, if you got a little bit more money, you can always go out there, and there are some really cool tools you can buy that will actually stabilize. Like there's a new selfie stick I saw that came out. I can't remember what it's called, but you can probably look up a stability stick or something like that. And it's like a selfie stick, but it has some kind of hydraulics inside of it. and it'll keep your camera completely stable no matter how you jiggle the base of it. So it's kind of cool. It's something that, again, is on my bucket list of things I'd like to have in order to continue to shoot better video. Cool. All right, so we talked about stability. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the rule of thirds. All right, so some of you are familiar with this, some of you maybe aren't. So when you're shooting a video, it's just a photographic trick in order to make your video more interesting. Like right now, I'm pretty much centered on the hangout. But sometimes, I don't know why, but this overhead light likes to make this beam right here, and it's bugging me. I don't know why it does that. So I just started doing that. So one of the things that I've been told to do, and I try to do this in my videos, is I'll sit so that I'm like a third of the way on the screen. Does that make sense? So instead of being centered, I'm either here or I'll sit, I don't know if I can get over there because of my desk, but I could probably turn this a little more. So then I would sit so I'm at the third position on the screen. And by doing that, it adds a little more visual interest to your videos, and it's going to help you so that you come off as more professional. I mean, look at those people who have professional videos out there on the internet, and you'll see it. You'll see that it's very rare that they're right smack dab in the middle of the frame. They're usually in one of the third positions. So start doing that, and you'll find that you have much better interest in your video. So I'm going to try to stay in the rule of thirds so that I'm practicing what I preach, okay? All right, so that's the other one. All right, and this is the sixth thing, and that's atmosphere. Okay, I already talked a little bit about this, actually. I think I spoke on it when I was talking about lighting. But your atmosphere that you create for your video really sets the tone and sets the mood. One of the things that I've learned is to find what's called a hypnotizing background. A hypnotizing background is something that's moving in the background, like water, like like a lake, or like the crash of the ocean waves, or maybe you're by a fountain, or maybe you're in this beautiful park with trees that are blowing and swaying in the wind. Maybe it's a field of flowers. Things that are beautiful and are moving tend to keep people's attention a little longer. For instance, if you live in a big city, I live out in the country, but if you lived in a big city, you might go stand somewhere where you've got city lights or cars passing by, or if you've got a really cool view from your window, you might stand near the window and let the camera pick up things that are passing by in the background. And it just adds more interest, and it's going to create a nice atmosphere for your video. Okay? All right, this is the eighth thing, and this is your outline. Okay? So one trick that I recently learned that has helped me so much in videoing is creating an outline on what I'm going to say rather than a script. Okay, it used to be when I would shoot a video, I would literally spend like an hour writing out or typing out exactly what I wanted to say. Okay, and then I would try to memorize that script and then say that into the camera. Has anybody else done that? Have you done that? I'm going to check the comments, see if people are still there. Hey, I see Barb jumped on. Good to see you, Barb. All right. So yeah, if any of you have ever tried to memorize a script when you're shooting video, it is so frustrating. And I've tried it, I've done it, and it doesn't come off. Even if you memorize it, it does not come off as professional as if you just did it off the cuff. Okay, so what did I learn? I learned instead, if I have some specific points that I want to make a short one-word outline. Like today, I don't know if you can see my notes here, I just got one word and then a few little notes on exactly what I'm going to cover in today's Hangout. So it's just one word. It's off the cuff. I didn't memorize this. I just have one word here so that I wouldn't forget what I wanted to say. And since I started doing that, I really feel like my videos have become a lot more natural. They don't sound like I'm a robot, okay? And if you've seen some of my past videos, you may have thought I sounded a little too professional and too crisp. And that's because I was trying to memorize a script. All right. Or I thought I had it memorized and I was trying to pull it off like it was natural, but it wasn't. So this is probably one of the biggest tips I can give you is start just scripting it out. And when you're new to video, maybe only pick like 2 or 3 bullet points that you're going to cover and just say it. Focus on those bullet points, and it's going to make your speech so much more natural. Okay, cool. All right, so we've got your outline. Now, the last thing I wanted to cover today, and I'm going to give you a little demo of this, is editing your video. This is where the mastery comes in. Once you start shooting video and getting better at it, now it's time to really make it magical. And the way to make it magical is to have some kind of video editor. So before you even edit your video, I'm going to give you just one more tip, and that is when you first start your video and when you press play on your phone. I'm going to get my phone as my example again. So when you press play, then the next thing you want to do is not speak right away. All right, you want to give yourself a few seconds before you start, because that gives you a spot to cut. Because you don't want to start speaking as you're pressing the play button. I don't know if you've seen anybody do those videos where they're like, "Hi, my name is Vishaan Boric," and you see their hand like coming at the camera because they just pressed play, and it's kind of annoying. So don't do that. Don't be that guy or that gal. So press play, get yourself situated, and then take a deep breath, and then speak. And what's cool is then later on you can go back and cut that first minute or few seconds off of the very beginning of your video, and it's going to make your video look really, really good. Okay. And the other thing on editing is at the very end of your video, when you're done saying what you're going to say, just stop and smile, or however you normally end your videos, and just stay in that position for like a few seconds, and then turn it off. Turn off your play button. Okay, by doing that, you give yourself a little room on the tail end to cut that part of the video out. Okay, does that make sense? It's going to save you so much time when you start doing that, and plus you won't again have that hand coming in and turning the video off while you're still speaking. Make sense? Cool. All right, so that's the first part of editing. The second part of editing has to do with editing software. Now, there are a lot of tools out there. If you are a Macintosh user and you've got a Mac, you are probably the luckiest. I don't have a Mac right now. I grew up on a Mac, but right now I'm using a PC. The Macs come with iMovie. Most of them do, at least. When you first buy a Mac, you've got a little program on there called iMovie, and it is one of the easiest to use editors, and it's got all kinds of bells and whistles. So you can download your video off your phone right into iMovie and start editing. You can drop in text in certain places. Like when you're shooting your video, you might point to something off on the screen with the idea in your head that later on, when you go into iMovie, that you're going to drop in text into that spot to help your viewer to know what you're talking about, right? So those are some cool things that you can do in iMovie. For those of you that are on a PC like myself, there is Windows Movie Maker, and that is also free. It comes with your computer. Yeah, I think it's just called Movie Maker. Yeah, I use that one a lot. I don't use it as much though as the third one that I'm going to list. But again, use what you have. Don't feel like you can't shoot video until you have all of these different things in place, until you have all the right equipment. I started shooting video before I had anything. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just started shooting video, and it wasn't good. I'm going to admit to you, it was not good. If you go back in some of my earlier YouTube videos, you'll see they aren't good, but I shot them anyway, and I put them out there. So do that. Get out there, shoot video, and then start adding to it and getting better and editing those things in iMovie. And you'll get really fast at it, as you get going. So then my favorite, this is my hands down favorite video editor of all time, is actually an app on my phone. It's called Splice. Some of you may use that. Some of you may have no idea what I'm talking about, but there is an app out there called Splice. I believe I've had it for years, but I believe it comes as a free version, and then you can upgrade it to get extra bells and whistles if you want to pay a little extra. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick tutorial right now for the next 20 minutes of this hangout on how to use Splice, how you can edit your videos in Splice and really make things pop and look good. So let me go ahead and I'm going to show my screen. So give me a second here. Okay, I may have to turn back on. Give me a second while I connect my phone here. I had it on a second ago, but it turned off because you have to be able to see my phone. There we go. Okay, cool. So I can get rid of this. Oops, I expanded it. And let me just get a nice white background for you. Okay, so hopefully you can see. I'm going to try to make this a little bigger. You can see my iPhone screen right now, and I'm using a little mirroring system that allows me to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click over onto Splice. And this is the app. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to hover my mouse. It's this one right here called Splice. And I've already been editing a video today, but I'm going to show you step by step how you use Splice and how easy it is to use it. Okay, so your first step is you click the little plus in the upper right hand corner. Okay, and then it's going to ask you, to pick pictures, images, graphics, or whatever. Let's do one for karate. I've got this short little video here. Click on him, and you can add as many things as you want to your Splice. So if I wanted to add like a photo or something, you can see all my crazy photos that I took. Oh, here, we'll just put a cat in there. Why not? Everybody loves cats, right? Oh, here I am fishing. We'll throw that in. So it's not really karate related anymore. It's kind of random, but that's okay. Then we'll just click add. Okay, then you can also add music. I usually don't add it at this point. I skip this, and then I'll add music or sound to the background. So I'm going to click skip. Okay, and then this is some other things that you can do to your video. Like you can change the name here. Like I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll just call it test video, and I'll put D&D. So I remember I did that for the down and dirty. And then landscape format is how you want to keep it. That's one thing I may not have said to you earlier, and that is when you shoot video, if you want to be really good at it, don't shoot your video with your phone facing up and down like it is on my screen right now. Instead, turn your phone, and I don't think it'll do it right now. I'll see if I can turn it after this. You want to turn your phone horizontal so that you shoot your video so that it's sideways. You don't want your video up and down. I'm sure you've seen that with other people who shoot video. You've got these black boxes on either side because they were holding their phone vertically rather than sideways. All right, so get in the habit of holding it sideways, and you're going to have much, much better video. All right, so I'm going to leave it landscape. Background color, I'm going to leave it black. Photo duration, that's like in between. I don't like 4.5. I usually do 3. And then outro, I'm not going to worry about that. There is a new feature where you can add like a little screen at the end of your video that goes to, well, right now it goes to, like it says GoPro and Splice. It puts their branding on it. So I'm going to leave that off because I don't want their branding. And then I'm going to click done. And now it's going to make my project. So let me turn this sideways. And I don't know why it's not working. Usually it'll allow me to turn it sideways, but while you're working on it, I think you have to be vertical. And then when you're done, you can turn it sideways and you can view your video. So you can see here down in the bottom is where you edit. Okay, so I've got this video here of my husband being flipped. Yeah, he's not hurt. That's how you fall. And then you see it goes into the different pictures that I just plugged in. Okay, so let's say I wanted to edit this little video. All I did was touch it, and then I click edit video. Okay, and you'll see here, I can simply drag these tools if I want to get it right in the middle of the fall. Like I could start it right there instead of at the very beginning. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? And then you would just click apply trim. So I'll just do that just for the fun of it. And trim. Okay, so now it's going to start the fall right at the very beginning of the fall. Okay, so that would be, you know, one thing you could do. If you cut it, if you do the opposite of cut, whatever I slid it to, like if I slid it here, it's going to cut everything at that point. So it would cut him on the ground. So that would be this one. And it would keep the rest of it. Hopefully that makes sense. You may want to experiment with it for a little bit. You'll see there's some other tools that are here, such as this one allows you to add like different effects. Like you could make it kind of old time, or I could go black and white. So you can see there's a lot of different tools. I could do like a drawing. So you can have a lot of fun with some of these tools. This one here, this one allows you to speed up the video or slow it down. Like if you wanted it to be super slow, so I could slow it down to like halftime. So then when he's thrown, it'll be like super slow motion. Oh, I think I just sped it up. Let me go faster. Oh, I know why, because I moved these little things. Give me a second. Got to put those back where they were. Okay, so now if I go here and I do halftime, now watch. See how it slowed it down? So it's just, these are some cool tools and effects, and this is all on your phone. So literally, you don't even have to download this to your computer. You can edit an entire video right from your phone. There's also this tool, which allows you to add text over the video. So if I can click on this, see if it'll let me do it. So I'm going to just say Toma. I think it's Tomagari. That's the name of the fall. Yes, I do karate and we do Japanese. So you can put text and you can make it different sizes. You should be able to edit it, move it wherever you want. I'm not really going to do that right now, but you get the idea. You can also do a Ken Burns effect, which would allow you to kind of go in and out of the video. Let me see if I can do it. So I could zoom in on the video. Okay. And then I'm not going to do that one though. Let me see if I can go back. I may have messed it up already. Okay. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to leave him alone. I think I really messed it up by messing with the Ken Burns. Don't mess with the Ken Burns effect if you don't really want to do that. Yep, I've got it messed up now, but that's okay. So you can also change the sound. So if you didn't want the sound in here, you could click on that and you could make it mute so you don't hear him grunt when he hits the ground. So you've got all kinds of cool things. Then you also can do transitions. Like you see this little guy right here that looks like, let me hover my mouse over it. This little guy right here, this is the transition from the video to the cat. So I can change that by clicking on it, and I can make it do blur. I can make it do swipe across, fade to black, and whatever it is I want to do, I just select it. Okay, and then the Ken Burns effect, I usually do that on the photo itself. Like that's kind of a nice thing to do. If I click on edit photo, I can come in here and I can make the cat go bigger so that when it does the cat, it'll kind of zoom in like that in the video. Okay, and then you can also add text. Like if I wanted to add a text screen at the end, which is what I do a lot, you just click on one of these, you click the little plus, you click title, and then you might like put your web address there. Okay. And then I can change the font to whatever it is I want. I like that one, and I like to change the color too. Put it on that. Okay, so now I've got, got my text on there. And then finally, when you're done and you're ready, you can add in some audio. You just click on audio. And if you had done that trick I mentioned earlier where you had recorded audio and then, maybe you had your GoPro. If you use GoPro, you can download the video right from your phone, from your iPhone. You could plug in the audio that you recorded right here within Splice. But I don't have that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click here. And there are a lot of different free music that comes from Splice. Otherwise, you can go to iTunes and you can download or use one of the songs that you have. But I would be careful with that, because if you're going to upload into YouTube or even Facebook, they are really, really cracking down on videos that have copyrighted songs. So I don't usually put a known song in my videos. What I'll do rather is use some of the music that's here that's free, that comes with Splice. So, and you can click on any one of these and you can actually listen to it. I don't know, let's listen to Shadow Man. See if it'll do it. Can you hear that? Yeah, so you can kind of preview the music before you select it. They also have some really cool effects. Like, let's say you wanted an airplane or an alarm in the background or something like that. You can choose one of those sounds and it just adds some interest into your video. Okay, so when you're all done, and actually I'll just click on Shadow Man and add him in there. Okay, so now I've got the music is added in the background. It's kind of long for the video, so it'll cut off right at the end, and that's okay. You can also edit the sound just by clicking on it. You can drag this and make it go smaller. You can lower the sound so it doesn't overpower your video. Okay, and then now you've got your video. But I think I cut out the video when I was messing with the Ken Burns effect. But you get the idea, though. Okay, cool. So now you understand how to splice. When you're all done and you're happy with it, all you got to do is hit the little arrow up here. I'll show you what it does. It gives you options where you can copy the share link. You can text message it, mail. You can upload it right into YouTube, upload it right into Facebook or Instagram. Remember, if it goes to Instagram, it has to be 15 seconds or less in order for it to work. Otherwise, Instagram will cut it off at the 15-second mark. And then you just hit save and you're done. I usually download it to my own thing. So all I do is I don't select any of these. I just click save, and then it downloads it to my photos file on my iPhone. Cool. So some of you may have seen a video that I did earlier today that we're doing, and I'll just show you what it looks like. I'll turn my phone sideways. So yeah, I shot this video today, and basically what we're doing is we're doing a 30-day video challenge. And I'm going to go ahead and let me just show you on Facebook. Let me go to that. Okay. Hopefully you can still hear me. I didn't lose anybody. So let me show you what I've got going on here. So this is the video that I shot today about this 30-day video challenge. And the whole point of this challenge is to get you to shoot more video. One of the things that I found is that when I shoot video on a regular basis, I get a lot more followers. I get a lot more interaction on my pages. I tend to get more sales in my business because video is a way for your audience to know, like, and trust you. So get in the habit of doing that. And this is the perfect way to get you out of your comfort zone, is to jump in on a 30-day challenge. And the way the challenge works, if you haven't watched this video yet, is you are going to record a short video every day for 30 days starting today. Okay, really short. By short, I mean a minute to 3 minutes maximum. And what I recommend is that you try to teach something to someone. Pick one thing that you know, one tip, maybe something you learned today from me, and you can create a video around that. And then what you're going to do is upload it in 2 places. You're going to upload it to your Facebook page. Then you're also going to upload it to YouTube. So if you don't have a YouTube channel, go ahead and create one. It's free to do, and upload your video there. And then after you've uploaded your videos, you're going to go to this Facebook community that I've created. It's called the Team Tough Community, and I'm going to go ahead and click on it and show you what it looks like. This is the banner for it. When you first come in, if you're not a member, you will have to add your name here and request membership. I will accept you. With few exceptions, I don't deny people to come in there. Now, if you abuse the system and you start spamming people, you will get blocked out of my group, but I know you guys aren't going to do that. So go ahead and add your name, and I'll approve you. And then once you're approved, you are going to look for this. I'm going to have an icon. It'll look just like this every day. It'll just have a different number, different date. So this is the one from today. So it's going to say Team Tough Video Challenge 1. And then, hey, Ian's already posted something. Awesome. Way to go, Ian. So you would come in here and post a link to your video. And then after you've posted a link, later on that day, what I'd like you to do is go in and click on other people's videos and comment on their videos. And you need to comment on at least 3 videos. And you can either comment on their Facebook video page by clicking on his link and commenting there. Or if he posted a YouTube link, then you can go to his YouTube page or whoever's YouTube page and comment on their video on YouTube. All right, so that's how you're going to participate. It's going to help drive more traffic to all of us that are in this 30-day challenge. It's also going to help you get better at shooting video. So go ahead, get excited about this, because I know for a fact that this is a great way to improve your business and to get more visibility on what you're doing. All right, so I'm going to flip this back around, hit stop. Hopefully you can see me again. Hey, there we are. So I hope that this has been helpful and that you've gotten a lot of value out of this. My goal, as always, on these Down and Dirties is to provide you with extreme value so that you can improve your life and the lives of others. So get out there, shoot some video, join me on the video challenge. I'll be participating as well. If you have any questions at all, feel free to comment below or reach out to me on Facebook. My name is Vishaan Borich. And get tough. Glad to have you on the Team Tough team. Take care.